All right, so today I want to talk to you about buying a $170,000 car and buying the car in your business name. And doing that for a very specific reason, but before I get into that, I want to give you a little backstory on why somebody would buy a $170,000 car. Why would I do that? And what it really boils down to is I've realized that you only have one life and you have a period of time that you're going to be here. So I think it's important to do some of the things that you want to do. You know, I think it's important to grasp, you know, whatever it is that you want to do by the horns and take it and master it. Do the very best that you can at it and pour yourself into it, because you got one time, one chance to get this thing right? You got one chance to do some of the things that you would like to do while you're here on this earth. So one of the things that I want to do is purchase a supercar, right? I like cars. I'm a car guy. And I've been looking at a C8 Corvette Z06. And that car is going to cost in total about $170,000. It is a beautiful car. To me, in my eyes, I see it as a beautiful, beautiful car. And I'm going to get it. But now I want to figure out, how can I make this purchase as sensibly and as less painful as possible, right? So I know as an individual, I cannot afford that car. Brandon cannot afford to purchase that car, because not only are you purchasing the car, but you have to purchase everything that comes with the car. The maintenance, oil changes, tire changes. And can you imagine what oil and tire changes would cost on a car like that? So it's going to be expensive, right? So I wouldn't purchase it as an individual. So I have to start thinking in my mind, if this is something that I want, how do I do it? Because not doing it is not in the equation, right? So I'm going to do it, so how do I do it? So I said, okay, how about taking a look at purchasing this car through my business? And the reason for that is because if I do it that way, I make the car an asset of the business. And now we got something flowing now. Because anytime we have an asset, then we can write off the expenses of the assets of the business, right? So that is something that is a little better. That takes away a little of the financial pain, right? So I get to write off now all of the expenses that come with the car, if I take the actual expense method. And that's the method that I plan to take, right? So that would allow for me to write off fuel for the car, write off the maintenance for the car, write off the oil changes for the car, write off the insurance, write off the registration, and the grand salami of them all, depreciation cost. Now in my case, my car will not weigh 4,000 pounds, so I won't get to take as big of a percentage of depreciation cost, but I will get a percentage of depreciation cost. When you hear of these big businesses or well-known individuals not paying taxes, oftentimes it's because they're taking depreciation cost against their assets. So that's going to make it a whole lot less expensive for me to have this type of car, right? So I wouldn't purchase it in my name, purchase it in the business name, making an asset of the business so I can write off the expenses of the car, right? That's just a huge, huge advantage, right? So a business will allow for you to own a supercar, own the car of your dreams, because it gives you more flexibility when it comes down to how you kind of manage the cost of the car, right? Individually, that would be a whole lot of money, a whole lot of extra money that I have to spend on a car, right? But if I want that, whatever that is, if I want that car, what I have to do is say, okay, you know what? How can I make this more manageable? How can I make this more doable? And the way to do that is to buy the car through your business, right? To make the car an asset of the business. You hear people talk about it all the time. Don't buy anything in your personal name. It doesn't do you any good to buy it in your personal name. If you buy it in the name of your LLC, buy it in the name of your business, then you can write off the expenses. That's what it's about. That's what it's about when it comes down to managing your money, managing your taxes. You should always be thinking about in your mind, how can I make this a tax write-off? How can I get a credit for this particular purchase? You don't, for me, I don't want to just purchase something without thinking about everything that comes with that purchase. How can I make this a better purchase? People say, oh, it's a bad purchase to purchase a car because it doesn't give you any money back, so to speak. It's a bad investment because you start to lose money as soon as you purchase a car. I get that. But I guess that depends on how you plan to use the car, right? Because I wouldn't purchase this type of car just to ride around in that type of car. That wouldn't be how it worked. I would use the car for business, right? That's the whole reason of purchasing the car in your business name, is because you need it for business, right? So when you're using it for business, not only are you writing off the expenses of the car, but the car is also making money. So cars don't just sit and don't make money unless that's the way you use it. I just don't plan to use it that way. So buying a car is great. It's a great experience. But if you buy the car as an individual, you pay a whole lot more money for it than if you buy it as a business. So the whole idea is to position the business, I should say, so that it can purchase assets in the name of the business. That doesn't come overnight. That's some work that you have to do. But put in the work and you can reap the reward. That's what I wanted to share with you today. Certainly hope this information has been helpful. If you want to learn more about the freight broker business, I'll leave my free link in the description. It's a 5-video series and it walks you through the process of how to move loads. And I'll also leave you a free video right here that shows you exactly how much it's going to cost you to start your own freight broker business. So until the next time, I wish you the very best in your life and business. See you at the top, at the very, very top, because the bottom is much too crowded.